Hello guys. As you all know, John Wick Chapter 3 did made a lot of money. So, of course, today we're talking about John Wick 3. John Wick 3 made $277 million. Oh, actually, it was $75 million. John Wick Chapter 3 is not really big. I think John Wick, but I think John Wick will be, will probably go on forever, even without Keanu Reeves. They can make someone else be John Wick, kind of like James Bond. So, Lionsgate before John Wick 3 didn't really have any franchise movies. They didn't. They had The Hunger Games, which died because there's only so many books in the Hunger Games franchise. But John Wick, they can make John Wick go on forever. Okay, they can make it like look at how many Mission Impossible movies and Fast and the Furious movies there are. Both the same cast out in the movie, but they changed up the characters. Maybe make John Wick. Well, makes because even the director admitted he wants to make John Wick movies until the end of the time. And the creators of John Wick, that he wants to, and he makes these movies like as good as he can possibly make them, and they somehow get better and better when they come out. Of course, people will get essentially sick of them, but people like action movies. That's no secret. Look at the success of Fast and the Furious, Mission Impossible, James Bond, Jason Bourne, and of course the superhero genre. There's no question people love action movies. Like the reason why Godzilla isn't doing too well because first of all, you gotta admit kaiju is actually a niche genre. It's a niche genre. That kaiju movie. That's Godzilla King of the Monsters is doing the average for a big kaiju movie. It's doing the average. But you see this here. People, there's no question people like John Wick, the franchise, and they're making a fourth one. So like a Mission Impossible, people I always complain that there's too many Mission Impossible movies. Well, you can make many as you want. Okay, Mission Impossible they can go on forever even without Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is the big draw to it, but they're making more Mission Impossible movies because people like them. People like Mission Impossible. That's the thing. I don't watch Mission Impossible, but people like Mission Impossible. People like over the top action movies. Mostly men do, but men mostly like movies like John Wick, Mission Impossible, James Bond, Jason Bourne movies, over the top. And guess where Mission Impossible has gone now? Mission Impossible is in the top 20 highest grossing movie franchises. Jason Bourne is not. I don't think Jason Bourne is, but the Bourne franchise is not there, but they're pretty close. So Mission Impossible is at the 16th, and Fallout is actually the highest grossing Mission Impossible movie as well. And like with Fast and the Furious, they can keep making them if they want to. Fast and Furious, I won't be surprised if Fast and Furious because of Chinese box office. We could go on forever. We're on the sixth Mission Impossible movie now. And now we'll gain a 7 and 8. 7 and 8. Mission Impossible will begin a 7th movie and an 8th movie. I don't think Tom Cruise will be in them forever. But I think the new Mission Impossible movies could be a passing of the torch for someone new. Okay? John Wick can be another one. Once Keanu Reeves becomes too old for John Wick, it could be kind of a passing of the torch movie. They could just easily do that. It's pretty easy. And Fast and Furious, they can make those forever. Let's find a new cast of characters and people will still watch them because people just want to see more car action, okay? Fast and the Furious, they're gonna make forever. Okay? Even though Tokyo Drift flopped. And I don't think Vin Diesel is going to be in Fast and Furious forever. Okay? John Cena's now gonna be in Fast and Furious now. John Cena. Look how many Fast and Furious movies there are. They're making a 5th one, they're making a 9th one. Now they're making spin-off movies. And they're making a 10th one. Fast and Furious 9 was supposed to come out this year, but of course, instead of that, but they're making a spin-off, which will probably still do really well. And Fast and Furious movies, they know when they release them. Usually in April when there's no Avengers. That's why they had to make it come out in. Because April is usually the time they start releasing Fast and Furious movies. Because no other blockbuster usually comes out on the same month as them. Now they're changing it to August because of Endgame came out in April, and they know they weren't able to compete. So Fast and Furious has a pretty good timing of a franchise. But action movies are becoming more and more popular. Look at the record-breaking sales of Mission Impossible Fallout. You bet they're going to make more films after that. I think Mission Impossible 7 has a start even passing $1 billion. Fast and Furious is the first major action franchise that's not a superhero franchise to do it as well. So good, the highest grossing movie franchises of all time. Fast and Furious is basically the first major action franchise, that's not based off of something else. I know Fast and Furious has product placement and all that in, but it's the first non-superhero action franchise to make it on $1 billion. Oh wait, James Bond did it first. So James Bond, though, is one of the first major ones to pass $1.5 billion. Fast and Furious made worse, but it still made a lot of money. And Fast and Furious, it can of course will always fluctuate in money. But I think Fast and Furious, Mission Impossible will probably be next. Mission Impossible Fallout nearly grossed $800 million. I won't be surprised the next Fast and Furious. No, Mission Impossible is now $1 billion. I think John Wick, well, it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. Same thing with Mission Impossible. What I mean here is John Wick and Mission Impossible and Fast and Furious are not going anywhere anytime soon. Unless they make it all woke, these three franchises are going nowhere anytime soon. John Wick, expect to see a lot more of John Wick in the future, even without Keanu Reeves. If they can make someone else made the style as John Wick, they can make a lot of money. Okay, and more people want to see action movies. There's no secret. That's the reason why I'm saying made the action movies now, not superhero franchises. That's the reason why superhero movies had a massive rise, because people just want to see action in the cinema. People don't want to see boring, preachy politics in the cinema. They just want to have a good time and just watch people beat each other up on the screen. And that's probably why Dragon Ball is even rising in the States. Okay, let's look at Dragon Ball movies in the States. We'll get Battle of Gods 2 million, Resurrection F 8 million, Broly 30 million. So even Japanese movies that are heavily centered around action, because Broly there is a plot in the movie, but it's mostly the best parts are the action, and I think Dragon Ball will be another franchise to look out for in the domestic box office. And Dragon Ball actually is now like the second highest grossing movie of all time. Dragon Ball Super Boy did pretty well for a limited release movie. Like, the thing is, Dragon Ball Super Boy was like a limited release promotion, so more people want to see action movies. That's basically it. That's why Dragon Ball Super Boy grossed 30 million. And this is a Japanese series, okay? I love Dragon Ball as well. A Japanese series is now doing better than American movies. Dragon Ball animated movies are doing better than American-made movies. I won't be surprised in the next one in domestic passes like 50 million. Wouldn't be surprised. They're making another one. And it's the first Dragon Ball movie ever in history to pass 100 million worldwide. Dragon Ball Evolution couldn't because that movie was awful. Everybody can see why. But I think a change is coming, and a change is definitely coming, and I think companies are going to stop really seeing who the real audience really is. And action franchises, there Hollywood is going to go through a recession, and action franchises are the only ones that are likely going to do well. I won't be surprised if Hollywood in the future would want to make an actual live action Dragon Ball movie that's hint actually good. Let's look at how poorly Dragon Ball Evolution did in the States. Dragon Ball Super Broly beat Dragon Ball as Evolution first week. So there is definitely a rise of action movies. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and goodbye.